Hello, everybody. It is Kevin down here in the studio, and it is almost 12:30, like 40 seconds until 12:30. But we are down here in the studio with one of the many construction workers that are over at Ronald McDonald, and then the critical care tower that's right next to the A building. So I'm gonna have him introduce himself, and he is over here sitting with us at the desk. So hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Well, thank you.
And then,
thank you for having me.
Do you want to introduce yourself, your name, and then your role? I wrote it down, but I'm going to let you introduce it over at Ronald McDonald.
Yes, sir. I'm Gerald Eugene Nooks Jr., and I am a company foreman at Messer Construction.
Okay, so a company foreman does what? Like your role?
We get more involved with the administrative and organizational parts of construction, making sure we have proper manpower, supplies, and equipment.
So that is the kind of the crazy part of it. It's all crazy, but what's the word I'm looking for? You're the planning aspect of it. So things can be
more so in planning as opposed to actually hands-on work. But I am called upon to still do that from time to time. Helping training new guys, and sometimes if people call off sick and a spot needs to be filled, I'm readily available to get right back in there in the thick of it.
You're here 5 days a week, every day over at Ronald McDonald?
On the average, sometimes 6.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I figured it might be more than that depending on the schedule. So can you tell me like what your favorite part of your job is?
That's probably twofold for me.
Okay.
I still like the hands-on work because it's gritty and because it's fun. And as a kid, you always dreamed about playing in the mud and jumping on big machines and doing this manly kind of work. And now you're getting paid for it. But overall, I think it's helping younger people learn the trade, helping them develop character and work ethic, and training them to do the many things that we do in construction. Gotcha.
Okay, so the hardest part. The question is like, what is the hardest part of your job? But that can either be now or maybe early on in your career. What about it is the hardest?
I think for me the hardest part is probably the stress.
Okay.
Like in every other aspect of life, things don't always go to plan, and when that happens in construction, because we have schedule constraints and we have to organize our schedule with lots of other trades and businesses, one thing goes wrong and it gets really, really hectic.
Yeah. So that's my headache. I have a headache for you guys. Just imagining. So you have your end date, the end date for Ronald McDonald is around when?
It's around March of next year.
March of next year. Okay, so that's a lot sooner than I imagined. Is that the main stress part? Like you said, is it just kind of like that is like in the back of your head while you're going day to day? Like we have to get this done by this certain date and this certain date.
Yeah, that probably more than anything else. It's a very, very aggressive schedule because we want to facilitate our owners or our clients' needs, and we understand how important what we're doing is, why we're doing it and how important it is. And we all have a vested interest in not only getting it done in time, but doing the best job we can. So when things go a little astray, it can cause a lot of stress for everybody involved.
Yeah, and it's kind of a chain reaction of events. It can be stressful for everybody involved. So when you started getting involved in construction, what got you interested in it? Was it like what you said before,
Yeah, because as a kid, I was kind of smallish and a little soft. I wasn't a tough little kid, and I always imagined being like the guys I saw on TV, doing construction and being tough and out there in the weather building things and doing manly stuff. And I always wanted to be involved in that. And when I got the opportunity, I jumped on it.
Well, I think you're doing just fine now. You're building hospitals and parts of hospitals and parts additions to help hospitals. So I think you're doing all right. So out of all the projects you individually or Messer have worked on, what's your favorite one and why?
I think probably the Casota Garage Project, which
Okay.
is attached to Children's. And that's because it was humongous. It's probably one of the biggest parking structures outside of downtown Cincinnati, in the Cincinnati area. It was a huge undertaking. It was like my first major job, and it's a beautiful building. It turned out beautiful. It turned out just the way we wanted it to, and it was like one of my first big babies, so it's probably my favorite.
When you drive past, so you obviously live in Cincinnati, when you drive past these buildings, say you've worked on them, I don't know how, do you feel differently about them? Or are you just like a proud moment when you drive past them knowing you worked on them?
Yeah, it's a very, very proud moment.
Yeah.
And if I'm not alone in the car, anybody is in the car. And
They're going to hear
notified.
about it?
I worked on that job. I built this. I built that.
Now
There's something very satisfying about being able to see your work stand.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's like a physical representation of your work, and you're able to show. I'm sure people predict it now. They might as well, when you're driving by it, they'll be like, yeah, we know you worked on that. You worked
No,
on that.
I don't try to drive it into the ground, but I still smile and I still look up.
Yeah.
And get as much as an eyeful as possible.
That's cool. So when you were in school, whether your favorite class or subject when you were in school?
Art. Yes.
Well, okay, that makes sense.
Art was my favorite subject because I was really, really good at it. And the people who were in that class, we all had similar personalities, even though we were from different backgrounds. It was fun.
Yes.
Creative.
It's like one giant art project now.
Yes.
One massive art project.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. A more detailed art project. So a question going off of that. So my biggest thing, and I think I talked to Whitney about this quite a bit, is like I'm always amazed when I look at hospitals and look at buildings that are coming up, how much actually goes into the building of these, whether that's HVAC or tube systems or electricity, but all this stuff. How do you section out all of that in phases? Like, how does that not get overwhelming when you're looking like, oh my gosh, we have to put all of this into a building and have it done in 3 years?
Well, at my level, I just have to worry about mainly our craft, Messer's craft.
Okay.
And I have to work with other foremen of other trades. So we have these huge meetings 2 or 3 times a week and make sure everybody's coordinated. Everybody's either working together or staying out of each other's way. It's a lot of coordination. It's a lot of meetings, a lot of coordination, and a lot of holding each other accountable.
It's like a lot of different teams kind of working together, same goal.
Teamwork.
Yep.
A whole lot of teamwork.
If it doesn't, then it's not going to happen.
No, it isn't.
It does. Teamwork makes the dream work. We had to get it in there. It's a staple. So, okay, now we get to like the kind of the more fun questions. So your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is probably black.
Black, okay.
And because when we were coming up in art school, they told us that the shade of white was the absence of color.
Okay.
And the shade of black was the inclusion of all colors.
Yeah.
And my mother always grew us up to be very, very diverse in the way we looked at people and cultures. So the inclusion of all always appealed to me.
That's the most insightful answer to that question that I think we've ever gotten out of any celebrity or special visitor ever. So that's awesome. Okay. Any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers.
Whew.
I'm the oldest male, though.
Your mom had a handful.
Count.
Yeah, that's true. You're the oldest, so you have a stake in the family table there. So, okay, do you like cats or dogs better? Well, I guess let's first ask this. Do you have cats and or dogs?
I've had both cats and dogs, and both at the same time, actually.
Okay, that didn't help.
I like them both equally for both what they bring. I like dogs because they're extremely loyal and affectionate and protective. You know, as a man, I like to know that when I'm away from home that my family's going to be okay. You know, and I like cats because they take good care of themselves and
they're kind of low maintenance.
They're very, very low maintenance, but when they do want or seek affection, it's like it comes in tons.
Yeah, it does. It's nonstop. Pet me. If you don't pet me, I'll just make you rub my head everywhere. Okay. Any hobbies of yours when you're not working and you're home for
I actually instruct martial arts.
Okay.
I'm currently still a student, but I'm also an instructor.
Gotcha.
I love helping people in the community. Try to mentor children, especially troubled teens. I have a hand in that in some areas of my life.
Perfect. Okay. And then, well, I guess this kind of goes. The question is, what did you want to be when you were little? And this was there like some big aspiration or goal when you were little, wanting to be like an astronaut or something else?
No, I just wanted to be like Bruce Lee or Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the biggest challenges, or one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome as a kid or as an adult.
I would say, if I may, self-acceptance.
Okay.
Self-acceptance more than anything. We tend to grow up in a society that says if you're not this, if you're not that, if you don't have this, if you don't have that, then you don't count. And that has an effect on all of us, whether we're aware of it or not. And just we tend to start looking for places to fit in and finding out that it's absolutely necessary that you already have your own spot.
So finding what you like to do as opposed to what you're told to like to do.
Well, it's who you are as an individual as opposed to who you're told you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's who you are, just accepting yourself as is and loving whoever that person is from inside yourself.
I think we just need to have a show. He just can come in weekly. See, he said when he came in, he had big shoes to fill of our last messer visitor. But I think you're doing just fine, if not more than that. So we appreciate you coming in and helping us learn more about the construction world and all of that. But so any secret talents, like the one that people are shocked when they hear about.
I can sing a little.
You can sing. I won't make you sing. Don't worry.
Please don't.
I
haven't warmed up.
I could tell when you reacted that way. You're like, oh no, now he's gonna make me sing. He's on in front. But no, we're not gonna make you sing. Okay, so then going off of that, then who's your go-to? Like, what do you listen to?
I listen to a variety of people. I would say if I was to sing a song, I like Celine Dion. I like Casey Haley from Casey and JoJo.
Okay.
I also like the old Drew Hill stuff.
So one song you pick as a karaoke song, what would that be?
If You Think You're Lonely Now by Casey Haley.
Okay.
But I also like by Melissa Etheridge, I'm the Only One.
Okay.
I'll do that one too. I really like that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a very broad, soulful taste in music.
Thank you.
So when you guys finish a project, I guess not you guys, you specifically, when you finish one massive project like this, are you on to the next one right after that?
Yes.
Or is there a little bit of a breather?
Usually if there's a big job available and I'm slotted to go to it, I go to it immediately. Sometimes we have little lapses, like as a foreman, our need is administrative and organizational. So sometimes that need isn't available yet. So we'll kind of just work under another foreman or pair up with another foreman until they can get us on our own jobs again.
Gotcha. So it's kind of blinders on in this job, right? Until you're on to the next one.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Total focus until you're gone.
Until you're out of there and everything's clear and safe.
And it's a justifiable requirement. Please believe me.
Yeah. I don't even want to know the precautions that go into building something and like that scale.
There's a lot.
I'm sure there are. There's a lot in here, let alone, and we're built. So
right.
Okay, so can you explain? We were talking about all the construction and everything goes into it, but can you explain the specifics of the Ronald McDonald project? Like, what is being done? Just a general description of it.
We're actually adding a parking garage, a small parking garage underground, and then additional tower floors above it.
Okay.
Along with a connector from that structure to the existing structure now.
Gotcha. It's just going to be more rooms, more everything, activity.
More rooms, more offices, and more parking space, which seems to run out really quickly.
The moment you build it, they'll be asking you for another one.
Yes.
So,
hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully we'll be building another Casota garage of, well, maybe not for your sake.
That'd be nice.
You're all for it. You're all for these.
Yes, I am.
That means working, so that's good. I don't really have any other questions. I answered my nerd questions. Whitney has questions.
Just the parents and the children having extra resources. I know how critical that is, and usually when people are at Children's or at Ronald McDonald House, they're not probably in the best of spirits. And the more resources, the more comfort, the easier it is for people, and that's exactly what they need in those times.
Yeah, I know we always hear people not complaining, but it's just Ronald McDonald House fills up so quickly because of space and whatnot. So, yeah. So,
yeah, believe me, yeah, that is not lost on any of us here. It's not lost on us at all. Most of us are parents, and that could be us at any time. So we really try to put our best foot forward.
Well, I just want to say we're grateful for all you guys do. There's not a place we go anywhere in here where we're not seeing Messer somewhere. So we're thankful for you guys being here and especially coming in here and being open and explaining everything to us and everything to the kids too. So if we're going to be on here for probably a little bit. Well, before we get to Whitney's question, if anybody has any questions they want to call down and ask, call down 33333 and talk to us because Whitney and I can keep asking questions all day long until he's worn out and doesn't go back to work. But Whitney, yes, what is your question?
Actually, no. I came in it'd be 18 years ago next month. So we weren't up and running in that area as much as they are now. But I just learned everything on the job. Okay. It was all, yeah. Yes, all experience.
So is that why you enjoy that aspect of the teaching part now? Because of your learning on the job and as you went, like you enjoy that aspect of teaching people that are just coming on to the job?
That and watching people do stuff and do it well that they didn't think they would ever be able to do. Just to watch that internal and professional growth and having something to do with it. It gives you a sense of pride, and I'd like to know that when I leave here that I'm leaving the company in good hands.
I mean, I already think they're in good shape. So, Whitney, any questions? I could see you. Yeah, you're itching.
I didn't see it, but it kind of reinforces your own desire to help, your own desire to provide, and to know that other people are grateful for your efforts. It gives you a boost. It really gives you a moral boost. Mm-hmm. And lets you know that you're. Yeah, we get a lot of that. We always stop and wave back. We actually there was an incident about 2 months ago where our crane was making a pick, and a child and his father happened to be walking down the sidewalk. And they had stopped and was looking up, and the kid was just pointing and in awe. And the guy who had the radio gave the kid an opportunity to give the tower crane operator a command. He told him what to say, and the child said it in the radio, and he watched his words go into the radio and watched the tower crane operator do what he asked him to do. And I couldn't describe that moment. Couldn't describe it.
That's pretty amazing. So I'm not going to say anything else after that. So it is, well, especially, because you think of little kids and you think of especially little boys at young age, they're into Tonka trucks and the construction things. I know my I guess seems like a nephew, but would really be like a second cousin, is all into that, like the construction world, the tractors, the cranes, everything. So that's cool. They get to, if they're stuck here, they get to see all of that like live, and that you guys are interacting with them, and they get like to feel a part of that. So, well, we appreciate you coming in and stopping down here.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, you're more than welcome to start a weekly show if you want to. So we'll do it like weekly wisdom. We'll make a hashtag. Yeah, we'll find a hashtag and create it. But anyways, thank you, and we appreciate everything you guys are doing. So thank you so much for coming in.
It's my pleasure. Appreciate it.
The rest of you guys, we are going to see you at 2:30 for Disney trivia. All right, bye guys.